test. I don't run regular. All the gas that's stored is high test. It lasts longer. I do have two cycle mixed in with it because it just, to me, it just helps. Even though there's oil, it helps, and it burns well. I don't see any problems with it. If anything, I even get a little bit better burn with it. So so at that point, I normally keep 30 gallons. Now, if we haven't used it in a year, but we usually do because between the yard tractor, the not so much the John Deere, but the lawn tractor, the lawn mower, the weed whacker when it's working, the chainsaws, we burn the gas anyway. That's why I put two cycle in everything, so I don't have to worry about, wait a minute, do I have it in that one or do I not? Everything gets two cycle. Um, and at that point, if there's anything that's left over, I throw it in one of the vans, and then I refill the tanks. That's all. If the van's down and I got 7, 8 gallons, 10 gallons here, I'll put it in the van. And then when I take the cans over to fill them, I'll fill a van up with the rest of the fresh gas. It burns. It's not a big deal, you know. But I do know that I'm going to want to have a little bit more fuel because 30 gallons, is basically going to get me through about a day and a half. Now the other thing I can do, however now is not the time, is to get a hold of a friend of mine. And even though he's a friend of mine, I'm not going to expect him to drop everything. But because he is a friend, I'll deal with him before I deal with somebody else. And I won't ask for any more. I won't, look for any deals. It's you do what you got to do. That's all there is to it. If you want to give a deal, give a deal. If you don't want to give a deal, don't. Right? I'm going to have to spend it one way or the other. I just want to give it to a friend. As long as it's a friend that I know that I can trust, and not a friend that's going to say, "Well, he's a friend, so I can get away with this." Nah. Anyway, I'm thinking about buying another one. Maybe even a little bit bigger, so it'll run easier, if that's the word I'm looking for. It won't be. I won't be putting a strain on it, so it'll run better, last longer. Just my thoughts. So I may go a couple K bigger, and then I may even have it tied into the natural gas, so I don't have to keep running back and forth to the gas station. A friend of mine down the street, he's also a brother in the Masons, and he had one put in last year, and I forgot what he said it cost him, but it starts up, I think he said every week, and runs and does a diagnostic, to make sure everything's working properly, everything checks out okay, puts a small load on it. Running it will make sure that your engine's running and everything is smoothly, but you still want to put some type of a load on it to make sure that the generator portion of it is working properly. Yeah, I mean, even if you just take a power drill and plug it in and drill something, or put a 150 watt light bulb in a lamp and plug it in and let it run, something, just to keep that generator portion of it sparked. But he had it all hooked up. They tied it into natural gas. They tied it into the main breaker, of the house, which I have, like I did. However, they did put a switch on it that automatically shuts down the main when the thing starts. Now, mine, I do have a switch, but it's not automatic. the generator won't start until I switch it. But I have to manually switch it. And that's a twofold. One is so that nobody gets electrocuted working on the pole, and the other is I don't blow up my generator. Because if the generator does decide to start, which it probably won't, if there's too big of a load on it, it's not going to start. So you have to make sure that everything is kind of turned down or off when you first start it. So, but if it does start and you're overloading it and it doesn't shut off, you're going to burn it up. So it will shut off eventually when it burns up on you. Alright, now I'm going to take this and we're going to make sure that this is going to stay in place. More so for the wires. I know the rest of it's going to stay in place because it's bolted in. The wires are soldered on. Now what do I do with my... Here we are. I think I told you I bought like a 10-pound box of these things. I forgot the brand on them, but I'm going to tell you, they work really good. I might as well just fill this up. There I go with that mine as well again. This is mine as well. So why do I say mine as well? I might as well fill it up. Hey, the wife is home. But she didn't call me. Now wait a minute. I don't want you bringing things in the house without me. She's feeling better now, so she wants to start doing things, which is fine. I don't want her to be doing them without me. Okay, so now let's put this back on here like so, Ho, ho, ho. That's hot, like so. Now here's the little screw. Now, like I said earlier, all this is like an adapter. It adapts it from the 75 ohm F connector coax to wire. And if I can, I'm gonna have to do it. And I'm not going to fight with this every time I do this. Here we are. I thought I brought one out here. Last night, I gotta check the internet and the weather. Last night, about 11:30 or so, it sounded like a blooming tornado went through here. A blooming tornado? What's that? Wait a minute, another little piece? No, wow. Wow, it's a little bridge. No, if I save that, I'll never find it anyway. The wife is in the bedroom, and she's doing something on her tablet. I'm on the couch watching TV and trying to figure out what's going on with YouTube. And then I hear, and it just started getting louder and louder. And I'm thinking, man, is that a train? Now, occasionally, if a granite train goes through here from the quarry, which is down in the, hey baby.
Hey, I'm back.
No, no, Huh. Okay. Wife's back. I had to turn it off. She was coming in, and she wanted to talk about her good deals. Sometimes she does pretty good with that stuff. She went to the store and she bought. They only had 16 bottles. Oh, I shouldn't have done this. You know what I did and I shouldn't have done? I crazy glued it closed. I have it closed with the screw. But if I have to get in there to fix anything now, I can't. Well, what are you going to do? You live and learn. You live and learn. And this pump bottle doesn't want to work anymore. So, when I was dealing with my oil and lubricant, I was trying different bottles because the chemicals have a habit of eating away at everything. And this one supplier said, "No, this is good for everything." Yeah, the glass is, but the pumper cracked out after a while. So, all right, so here's what I have. And this one is the hot one. So what I'm going to do, does it really make a difference? Like I said before, no. I want to know. I want to know. Actually, I'm not going to do this. I was going to put red and black, but then if somebody were to look at this, they may decide to think, oh, it's power, and put 12 volts on it. So you got to think about what other people are going to see when they look at it. There. That's why if you're working on your car, and if you're running negative, positive, well, you know what, I'm going to do this because it really doesn't make too much of a difference. Nobody's going to see this but me anyway. And if they do, that means they're just going to have voltage on that. There. If you're working on your car, or 12 volts, or any type of wiring, make sure the wiring that you use is the same color as you're working on. Because if you're not working on it and somebody else has to work on it, and you change the color on it, there's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Because it's going to take them longer to figure it out, and there's a strong possibility that they're going to cause more damage while trying to figure it out. And you never want to run thinner wire. You always want to run the same or heavier, depending on how long it's going to be. Now, what am I going to do here, you ask? Well, I want to secure these a little bit on the outside, and I don't want to just put a wire tie on them, which I could, but I don't want to. I want to put something between them, because when I do this, even though I have it glued to bejesus in here, I don't want to be putting pressure on the inside to open them and pull them off the connector. So I like to have a little something right here to tie it with. And I know exactly what I want. I just got to figure out what the hell I did with it. I do have it. I just got to cut it a little bit. Where the hell did I? Here we are. Here we are. Good. Goody, 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 goody. Oh, sure. I made that one so small it fell down in the track. Okay. Let's see. I think I got it here though. I can go a little heavier. Alright, go a little bit heavier. That should do it right there. Okay, so now I can put this in here like so, and now I can tighten that up like that. Yeah, I can. Or can I? Hello? Let me get it started first. There. Good. That's what I like. I'll move it up just a hair. I got to get another pair of cutters because these are crapped out. They're no longer joining all the way, and there's no room anywhere to cut them down enough to where they'll close up on one another. There. Good. Okay, so now I got this little piece of you notice I've been having problems today with names and numbers and product. Couldn't even think of a connector. I still can't remember the name of the reducer. SR? No. I'll have to look now. It's going to drive me nuts. This is almost like a yeah, like a wonder board. You know, it doesn't rust, fall apart, swell up, soak up water. Okay, so we're done with this, and they're marked. Now, this is the one that I just made. I will show you the one that you can buy that comes with the antenna that I bought. And again, I'm not knocking the antenna. Like anything else, the guy is making antennas, he's buying product to use, and he's relying on that product to do its job. And now, this was my first cup of coffee today, and I just finished it, and it is 1:49. So, I'm going to make a cup of tea. I don't use filtered water for coffee or tea. I just use it for drinking.